My name is Shadi Nicolas Misagui, and I'm from Alicante, Spain. So I thought I really needed to differentiate myself in the market, and getting a degree from the United States would actually do that. So I decided to come here to at least learn English, and let's see how it goes. And so I did that. I went to the American English Institute at Fresno State, and I learned English. And once you graduate from the English program, they kind of like direct you towards taking the TOEFL exam, which is the exam that you need to be able to go to the university. And so I did the exam, and so I passed it. And I was like, okay, then let's get a degree. And it happened in a very natural way that I ended up here, and I ended up studying and getting another degree. Those first 3 months was like a big cultural shock. I remember my first Instagram post. It was a picture that I took from my apartment, and what I wrote is like, everything here is so big. And that was my first post on Instagram. I could have gone to London, like most of people did, that they moved to the UK, and then specifically to London. A lot of people from Spain did that. But I didn't know anyone there. And actually, my brother was here like a year and a half before I came. And he was in the American English Institute, and he was there just to learn. He just came to learn English. And so he had talked about me to all the professors there. And so he opened the path. And when this idea came up in my family, my brother already opened all the doors. Everyone was waiting for me. And that's why it was Fresno. I don't regret it, not even a little bit, because Fresno State gave me everything I needed. I think the Media Communications and Journalism program here is great. Everyone that I know before graduating is already working. And whoever is not, whenever they graduate, they find a job. It's so hands-on that everything that we do here, it really prepares you for the real life. All my MCJ classes were service learning classes. So by the time that I will graduate, I would have already worked with like 3 different nonprofits, which that goes into my resume, and which I have done real work with them. You're helping and you're learning, and it's all and you're getting your degree. So it's all combined, and I think that combination, it's something very, very special. When you're here, your family is so far away that your friends and even sometimes the faculty becomes your family. So Thanksgiving dinner is happening. When I'm sick, my friends will bring me food. When someone is, like, they will take me to the doctor. This is the kind of relationship we had, especially with other international students, because we were all in the same situation. So we all become like a small family, and it's a very weird thing, because that doesn't happen in any other setting. The person that I was when I came 4.5 years ago, I'm not that person anymore. And I really like the person that I am right now way more. And that process of change happened thanks to the environment of Fresno State, of Fresno in general. Because I come from a mixed family. My mom is originally from Iran, and my dad is from Spain. So I have been raised, and I went to a French school. So I've been raised in a mixture of cultures. So I already came with some of that in my background. But coming here, it was deepened, because I had the opportunity of meeting people from Japan, from India, from Saudi Arabia, from France, and like having all this combination of all these cultures coming together, it was even like deepening all of that. So my understanding of the world has changed in such a manner that now, to me, it's not I'm going to work in the US or I'm going to work in Spain. It's like I could go work in South Africa. I could go work in Russia. I could go work in Australia. I could work anywhere. Like I honestly, sometimes I'm thinking, I don't even know where am I going. So that's why that has broadened in that sense my plans, but at the same time, the person that I have become, it makes it smaller, because I know that I want to work for something that is like producing a change in the world. I want to work for, I have very like my moral and like ethical standards have been raised to a point where there is many things that I know that I do not want to do. I don't want to contribute to things that I know that are damaging for society, and I know that I want my energy and my efforts to go towards building a better society. So that actually, makes my possibilities smaller at the same time that I could go anywhere, makes it bigger. So it's not the typical, when I have to answer that question, it's not the typical, I want to be a CEO of a company. It's, I don't know what I want to be. I don't know where I'm going to be, but I know that I want to do something good. I want to be an agent of change for society, definitely, yeah. As long as I feel that I can look at myself in the mirror every day and feel that I am doing something that is contributing positively to the advancement of the human civilization, I'll be happy. Yeah.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 2018 International Commencement Celebration at California State University, Fresno. I am Jamie Jones, an international advisor, and I am delighted to have the honor today to welcome you to the International Commencement Celebration. If you can take a moment and turn off your cell phones and other electronic devices which may interfere with today's program, it would be greatly appreciated. Please note today's program is being both photographed and filmed for your convenience and will be available on the ISSP website later this month. With that, ladies and gentlemen, at this time I invite you to please stand as we welcome the faculty and our graduates.
Please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome to the 2018 International Commencement Celebration. We are delighted to have the opportunity to gather today and celebrate the accomplishments of our international community here at Fresno State. We welcome our esteemed colleagues, faculty, staff, honored graduates and guests to our International Commencement Celebration. It is my honor and privilege to introduce our Fresno State administrators. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Dr. Lynette Selesky, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs. Dr. Danny Knapp, Vice Provost. Orlando Leon, Chief Information Officer. Dr. Scott Moore, Dean of Division of Continuing and Global Education. Dr. Xuanning Fu, Dean of Undergraduate Studies. Dr. Saul Jimenez Sandoval, Dean of College of Arts and Humanities. Dr. Paul Berry, Dean of Kremen School of Education and Human Development. Dr. Daniel Bernard, Executive Director, Division of Continuing and Global Education. Dr. Luz Gonzalez, Dean of Fresno State Visalia Campus. Dr. Sam Langford, Associate Dean of College of Health and Human Services. Dr. Bernadette Muscat, Associate Dean of College of Social Sciences. Dr. Ram Nuna, Dean of Lyles College of Engineering. Dr. Don Stengel, Associate Dean of Craig School of Business. Dr. Sammy Willie, Dean of Jordan College of Agricultural Sciences and Technology. And our graduate speaker, Farah Mohammed Alali. I would also like to take a moment to recognize our faculty and staff in attendance today. Please stand to be recognized. As a former international student of Fresno State, I take great pleasure to celebrate the achievements of all Fresno State international and study abroad students who were conferred with a Fresno State degree this morning, among 6,000 plus Fresno State degree recipients this year. Fresno State's international student population continues to grow, enriching the diversity of both our campus and the Central Valley. International students are critical to the fulfillment of the university's strategic plan to provide a transformative educational experience that prepares students to serve and to lead in the Central Valley, the state, and beyond. International students, you are ambassadors bringing the rich heritage and goodwill of your home countries. You learn side by side with domestic students, work with faculty and staff, creating a global community in which diversity is celebrated and common ground is developed. For these, thank you all. Returning home, you will bring what you have learned from Fresno State and the United States to serve and lead your countries well. At every new student orientation, I tell students that they are courageous dragons who have crossed the ocean and taken on challenges that they have to overcome. I have seen you all grow through academic grades with your consistent involvement in different activities, volunteering for various events, and within the international office. I've seen you overcome the many obstacles that you have engaged with in America. Domestic students, amidst more than 550 Fresno State students who studied abroad last year, you have gone outside your comfort zone of your campus and country. You have studied abroad and brought back global and comparative perspectives that enrich conversations in your classrooms and bring new ideas to the region. You are an amazing product of a high-impact learning that leads to personal transformation and academic success. Both international and study abroad students have boldly lived out our international ethos and values in discovery, diversity, and distinction. To those who have given spiritual, emotional, social, academic, and financial support for our graduates, whether you are in attendance today or away in your home countries, you have contributed to their successes in more ways than can be expressed. And it is equally as important that we recognize you today. Would parents, relatives, and friends of our graduates please stand to be recognized? Thank you. Graduates, you are a part of Fresno State's proud legacy and bright future. Congratulations, Dragons turned Bulldogs. At this time, I would like to invite our beloved Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Lynette Celesty, to address the graduates on behalf of the university. Dr. Celesty.
Thank you, Dr. Lam, and welcome to all and to all of our guests. It is with great pride that I join President Castro, my colleagues, and the entire university community to honor and celebrate our international graduates. I also share my sincere thanks to our international faculty and staff who have been stellar in your mentoring and in your stewardship for our amazing international students. Today marks the completion and celebration of what has been an amazing journey for you. One where you persevered challenges and obstacles through your hard work, dedication, and unwavering belief in yourselves to become Fresno State graduates. Remember to thank those who supported you along your journey, your family, your friends, and the faculty who are here to share in this joy with you. And they share your accomplishments and are encouraged by your future successes. I encourage you to start your next journey with confidence and pride. You have been well equipped by Fresno State to face difficult problems and create innovative solutions. Continue to challenge yourselves, seek new experiences, think creatively, and boldly fulfill your deepest and greatest dreams. We're very, very proud of you. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Celesty. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Xuanheng Fu, Dean of Undergraduate Studies, and Dr. Saul Jimenez Sandoval, Dean of the College of Arts and Humanities, to present the nominees for the Distinguished International Awards and the Phyllis Watts UD Memorial Award. Dr. Fu and Dr. Jimenez.
Good afternoon, everyone. This year, we are proud to recognize 16 nominees for the Distinguished International Undergraduate, Graduate, and Study Abroad Awards. These students are high-achieving and actively involved graduates, demonstrating outstanding contributions in areas such as, but not limited to, research, educational endeavors, awards, community involvement, leadership, and mentorship. Their names are highlighted in boldface in your program. At this time, I am proud to have the opportunity to present this year's graduate nominees. Nominees, as your name is read, I invite you to stand and stay standing until we have finished announcing all of the nominations. Zara Al-Zibaidi from Saudi Arabia. Roan Chung from Malaysia. Abhilasha Dave from India. Ji Kwon from South Korea. Thuy Nguyen from Vietnam. Sagnik Mitra from India. And the winner of this year's Distinguished International Graduate Award is someone who not only excelled academically, but sought opportunities to help others both on campus and in our local community. In her short time, she did everything from working as a student research fellow, teaching STEM youth, volunteering for international orientation, to working as a behavioral therapist with autistic children. Her plans for the future include becoming a board-certified behavior analyst prior to pursuing her PhD. It is my pleasure to announce Nu Wen as this year's Distinguished International Graduate recipient. Congratulations.
Now, for our distinguished international undergraduate award nominees. Nominees, when your name is announced, please stand and remain standing. Madulin Alatwi from Saudi Arabia. Yijin Chung from Malaysia. Jiang Ziran from China. Olosiani Masdudi from Indonesia. Yui Ho from Hong Kong. Kumam Nuvutange from Sri Lanka. Claudia Richardson from Bermuda. And the winner of this year's Distinguished International Undergraduate Award is someone who was named All-American Scholar by Women's Golf Coaches Association every year since 2015. Is part of Jordan College Agricultural Honors Program, has participated in many community and service opportunities, ranging from the community food bank to Valley Children's Hospital, and presented at the 19th Annual Central California Research Symposium. It is my pleasure to announce Mui Mini Ho as this year's Distinguished International Undergraduate recipient. Congratulations. And lastly, our study abroad nominees. We have three. When your name is announced, please stand and remain standing. Ed Carmichael studied abroad in Italy. Pa Nan Van studied abroad in Thailand. Samantha Papin studied abroad in Italy. And the winner of this year's Distinguished Study Abroad Award is someone who not only studied abroad in Italy, but served as a study abroad club president, a study abroad ambassador, and presented her senior project on the benefits of studying abroad. She was also recently accepted into a master's program at the University of Glasgow in Scotland. It is my pleasure to announce Samantha Papin as this year's Distinguished Study Abroad Award recipient. Congratulations. We extend our warmest congratulations to you all.
The Phyllis Watts Udy Memorial Award was established in memory of the first Dean of the Division of Graduate Studies, Dr. Phyllis Watts Udy. She was a champion of international education and was deeply committed to the success of international students. This award is given to an outstanding international graduate student who demonstrates exemplary leadership and service to the international community. This year's UD Memorial Award winner is someone who has both supported and contributed to the internationalization efforts on campus. He served as a mentor to many of our incoming international students as an international ambassador, helped organize weekly cricket matches for his peers, as well as tutored athletes and worked as a graduate assistant and teaching assistant in his department. Not only was he the vice president of the International Student Association and event coordinator for the Indian Student Club, he received a Southern California Edison Research Grant and presented at the 39th Central California Research Symposium. We are proud to present this year's UD Memorial Award to Sagnik Mitra. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to invite our graduate international student speaker to say a few words. Farah Mohammed Al-Ali.
We made it! Despite all the struggles and rough patches, we have managed to make it to our graduation ceremony, standing tall and proud. I am Farah Al-Ali, and I am honored to stand before you and my fellow graduates and friends, family today to congratulate the class of 2018. I remember the first time I wandered Fresno State campus halls. On my first day, it took me 35 minutes to find my class. Fortunately, I did make it to class 3 minutes before it ended. I attended those last 3 minutes, embarrassed of the fact that I was late, but also proud that I actually figured out where the class was. I remember feeling nervous, afraid, and filled with happiness that I've already made it to campus and college. Much like my feelings on the day I left home in Saudi Arabia, with eyes filled with tears, I said my goodbyes to my family and off I went, alone to Fresno. At first, I was on cloud 9 because of the fact that I was in California. But then the cab ride took 9 minutes from the airport to the hotel. And so, the shock of being in a small town where everyone had their own social circles began to set in. I thought to myself, no one would take me in or understand my cultural differences. But then I started going to school. I spent days and nights on this campus. And by the way, I do know where all the buildings are now. I have studied, attended events, and made friends that have accepted me for who I am. I am one of the many fortunate Fresno State students that made friends who count as family in this school. Fresno State have not only prepared me for my career life that I am now embarking on, but it has also made me learn real-life lessons. I've learned to appreciate people from all around the world, including their cultures and beliefs. After all, Fresno State's slogan is diversity, discovery, and distinction. I have had all of that here. So thank you, Fresno State, for giving me the best bachelor degree and the true experience that one could ever ask for. And so here I am, Mom and Dad, wearing my graduating hat, as you suspected, filled with happiness and joy that all my time away from you and from home have finally paid off. Despite all the homesickness and all the missing you, I learned what you sent me here to learn. Although I have spent a little bit more money than I expected, I'm sorry, Dad. Despite of all of that, I wouldn't change a thing. I would like to say to all students that are still in Fresno State, live your campus life to the most. It passes faster than you think. Fellow graduate, let's promise Fresno State that we will never stop learning. And as Winston Churchill once said, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Let's promise Fresno State to continue our journey to success, not letting our future failures and frustration stop us from thriving. And do not forget, Fresno State will always be your home. And so here we are again, folding a chapter of our lives with eyes filled with tears, saying our goodbyes and hoping to have luck on our sides for the next chapter of our lives. So congratulations, class of 2018. You made it!
Thank you, Farah, for a very touching and uplifting speech, and it will stay in my heart forever. At this moment, I also want to recognize the efforts and importance of our cultural clubs on campus as they support and educate both our campus and local community about diversity of Fresno State. We're especially proud of our Saudi Student Club that was recently nominated for the Club or Organization of the Year. Would the club president and officer please stand to be recognized? Congratulations. Graduates, are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. That's about right. Now it is time to recognize all graduates. Before we begin, I would like you to attend to a few logistic reminders. As each student's name is read, each graduate will cross the front of the stage. Please hold your applause until the reader has completed introducing the student. Guests, for your safety and that of others, please take photos from your seats as we have arranged for a photographer to take individual photos as students receive the official university diploma cover. And now I would like to invite our readers who will announce each graduate to come forward. Today's readers are Nawaf Elsef, Sujin Kim, and Siddharth Magash Kumar. Please come forward.
Shantanu Shinde from India, receiving Masters in Biotechnology. Akhilesh Shenoy from India, receiving Masters in Biotechnology. Aradhana Elisa from India, receiving Masters in Computer Science. Suchi Kakad from India, receiving Masters in Biotechnology. Shanti Priya Gutta from India, receiving Masters in Computer Science.
Tahira Jafarzadeh from Iran, receiving Bachelor in Engineering.
Rohit Varshne from India, receiving Masters in Computer Science. Sagnik Mitra from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering. Aniruddha Jayakumar from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering. Lahari Shivakumar from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering. Gaurav Padke from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering. Namrata Chaudhary Narni from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering. Ujjwal Ema from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering. Akansha Jaiswal from India, receiving Masters in Computer Engineering. Prakshi from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering. Rohan Khanna from India, receiving Masters in Electrical and Computer Engineering.
Thuy Nguyen from Vietnam, receiving Masters in Education.
Abhilasha Dev from India, receiving Masters in Computer Engineering. Manroop Turna from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering. Bhavesh Jeevanlal from India, receiving Masters in Civil Engineering. Vidushi Panwar from India, receiving Masters in Computer Science. Divya Kejriwal from India, receiving Masters in Computer Science. Anand Gupta from India, receiving Masters in Computer Science. Udaya Shri Madhireddy from India, receiving Masters. Amrita Bangalore Prakash from India, receiving Masters in Computer Science. Deepak Ramu from India, receiving Masters in Computer Engineering. Hemant Nagendra Prasad from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering. Lakshmi Chaitanya Madhiraju from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering. Narayana Ramchandran from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering. Arun John Velvet John from India, receiving Masters in Computer Engineering. Prashant Rudra Raju from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering.
Rowan Chin from Malaysia, receiving Masters in Information Systems Management and Marketing. Giovanna Leon studied abroad, receiving Masters in Education. Jia Ma from China, receiving Masters in Special Education. Janice Magdalena Villanueva from Mexico, receiving Masters in Education. Dia Ili Nining Ho from Hong Kong, receiving Bachelor's in Child Development.
Sukrut Kesari Pasumarthi from India, receiving Masters in Computer Engineering. Rajat Bindal from India, receiving Masters in Electrical Engineering. Amninder Singh from India, receiving Masters in Plant Science. Rohit Gulchi from India, receiving Masters in Plant Science.
Caroline Glynn, studying from England, receiving Bachelor's in Criminology.
Arjun Bharadwaj from India, receiving Bachelor's in Computer Science.
Ziran Zhang from China, receiving Bachelor's in Biochemistry. Elise Noy from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Communication. Gina Yu from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in International Business. Yishen Tan from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Finance. Sinmei Lin from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Finance. Yo Ting Teo from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Finance. Mi Zhang from China, receiving Bachelor's in Management. Jade Wang from China, receiving Bachelor's in Immunology. Su-Shin Ho from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Food and Nutritional Science.
Rupashri Gom from India, receiving Bachelor's in Computer Science.
Ola Masmudi from Indonesia, receiving Bachelor's in Accountancy.
Narmada Makavita from Sri Lanka, receiving Bachelor's in Mechanical Engineering. John F. Christie from Sri Lanka, receiving Bachelor's in Mechanical Engineering. Sanjay Saudarajan from Sri Lanka, receiving Bachelor's in Computer Science. Gaushik Manohar from Sri Lanka, receiving Bachelor's in Mechanical Engineering.
Cloudy Richardson from Bermuda, receiving Bachelor's in Philanthropy and Community Benefit Administration. Stephanie Gomeles, studied in Dominican Republic, receiving Bachelor's in Public Health. Jit Lim from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Finance. Kelvin Tay from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Computer Science. Jikai Yu from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Agriculture Business. Brian Liu from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Science Marketing. Yi Jin Chong from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Finance. Kitipan Kaslapan from Thailand, receiving Bachelor's in Marketing. Lee Chet Tay from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Computer Science. Ryan Cho from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Computer Science. Kenta Ima from Japan, receiving Bachelor's in Sports Administration. Ishikawa from Japan, receiving Bachelor's in Communication. So Shushimoto from Japan, receiving Bachelor's in Sports Marketing. Faris Elias from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Mechanical Engineering. Reynaldo Beckwith, study abroad in Germany, receiving Mechanical Engineering. Yuichiro Okumura from Japan, receiving Bachelor's in Economics. Takashi Toyota from Japan, receiving Bachelor's in Marketing. Yohei Shibata from Japan, receiving Bachelor's in Criminology.
Muhammad Al-Qahtani from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Finance. Hassan Al-Yaqub from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Industrial Technology.
Shadi Nicholas Misagi from Spain, doing Bachelor's in Media Communication and Journalism.
Faris Al-Milhan from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Political Science. Abdulaziz Al-Taysan from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Industrial Technology. Abdulmajid Al-Taysan from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Industrial Technology.
Amelia Wong from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Accounting. Alfred Hale from Malaysia, receiving Bachelor's in Marketing. Nicole Chan from Taiwan, receiving Bachelor's in Accounting.
Robo Fallata from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Food Science and Nutrition. Farah Al-Susi from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Speech Language Pathology. Fayez Sidhan from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Interior Design. Marwa Sharif from Saudi Arabia, receiving Master in Public Administration. Sundus Al-Sarra'i Al-Alawi from Saudi Arabia, from Oman, receiving Bachelor. Fahad Al-Sidhan from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Mechanical Engineering. Hani Al-Yaqub from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Industrial Technology. Hussein Ikhwan from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Electrical Engineering. Nawaf Al-Hadi from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Electrical Engineering. Fahad bin Mahfoub from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Electrical Engineering. Ammar Sabahi from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Civil Engineering.
Samantha Pepin, studying in Italy, receiving Bachelor's in Anthropology and History. Ledesma studied in Spain, receiving bachelor's in geography. Pana Vang studied in Thailand, receiving bachelor's in public health. Fang Liang from China, receiving master's in history.
Tarun Kumar from India, receiving masters in computer science. Stuti Holkar from India, receiving masters in computer engineering. Sayali Mane from India, receiving masters in computer science. Aman Ketwani from India, receiving bachelor's in computer science.
Najla Sadhan from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Food Science and Nutrition. Farah Muhammad Al Ali from Saudi Arabia, receiving Bachelor in Business Administration.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Scott Moore. I'm Dean of the Division of Continuing and Global Education at Fresno State, and I have the privilege to be the first person to congratulate you. Will you please join me in one more round of applause for all of our graduates today? And graduates, as we celebrate your success, I am mindful that your hard work is just beginning. For the measure of your success will not be that you earned a diploma, it will be what you choose to do with that diploma. Your diploma is not an entitlement, rather, your diploma is more of a metaphor. It's a key that unlocks opportunity, demystifies the obscure, and encourages more hard work. So with the key we give you today, understand its power to improve your community and your world. And as you become a little more successful, make success a little more attainable for those that follow after you. When given opportunity, make opportunity for others. Ultimately, don't allow your education to be a self-indulgent exercise that ends today. Your education is so much bigger than that. Use your education to better your community. Use your education to inspire. Shine the light of opportunity into the darkest corners of despair. Use your education to protect the vulnerable and to empower the disenfranchised. And when others blindly follow the crowd, use your education to question their direction. Discriminate, not against people, but against prejudice, intolerance, poor reasoning, and hatred. Our faculty invested in your future, and we hold very high expectations. So as you leave Fresno State today with the keys to your future, remember, make a positive difference in the global community. I wish you great happiness as you embark on the next stage of your life's journey. Once again, congratulations.
As we conclude our celebration, the platform party will please exit through the center aisle, followed by the faculty and university staff. The processional of graduates will follow in the center aisle. Graduates, upon exiting the Satellite Student Union, we will take a group photo, followed by our traditional cap toss, so don't go anywhere. Guests, you are invited to join us at the reception area outside the auditorium for cupcakes and refreshments. But please remain in your seats until all graduates have left the auditorium. Graduates, at this time, I request that you stand and congratulations. You did it, graduates. Congratulations.
Hi, how are you doing?
Sundar! Sundar!
So yeah, so the key is we're gonna go 3, 2, 1, toss.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1, and then they'll say toss. Does everyone hear that? 3, 2, 1, toss. Listen to Carrie. I'll try shouting. Yeah. All right, guys. 3, 2, 1, tie.
هلا والله